So recently I actually had an opportunity to do something that I've never done before. My advisor told me about a fellowship that was available for graduate students where you can actually apply by writing a proposal, and they'll give you a hefty sum of money in order to actually do the research that you want to do. So basically, out of the blue, in the middle of the semester, I find myself faced with this: you pretty much have to write this proposal so that you can get money. So we talk about an idea and everything, but I have to somehow manage to get this idea on to a 2-page proposal that I'm going to submit to the National Science Foundation. So it's pretty important. And at first, I'm writing down all of these ideas, and I'm thinking to myself, how on earth am I going to fill 2 pages with all of this stuff that I have no idea what I'm doing with? And so I write a draft, I bring it back to Dr. Holman, and I say, this is kind of what I have so far. And I was so scared that he was just going to tell me that it was awful, because I'd never written one before. I didn't even know what to expect. And he ended up actually being really nice about it, and he said, well, this is good. You have a lot of research, and you really need a lot more proposal. It's called a research proposal. So I'm back to the drawing board, and I'm sitting there, okay, how do I make this a proposal? So I start saying, what it is I'm actually going to do. And it ended up being really difficult for me because I had to think about every single step and what each of those steps was going to show me, and then what do I have to do with that information. So I plug all of that back into this report that I have, and I bring it to Dr. Holman again, and I say, okay, well, how about now? And he's like, well, it's better. And here I am, finally, by the 5th draft, I had Dr. Holman read it, and another professor look over it to make sure that it was meeting all of the requirements. And I finally was able to turn this in. And actually, one of the most meaningful points was when I had that last draft and I showed it to Dr. Holman, and I had an idea that we hadn't talked about before in it. He actually read it and he said, hey, that's a really good idea. And I just felt like I had done something that was actually meaningful. So I finally got that proposal turned in. So if you guys want to cross your fingers for me,